Hey guys, Darren here with R Equipment Sales and Service, formerly known as Rental Ranch. Gonna have you tag along with us today while we unload this trailer. We're kind of been doing a lot of organization in the back lot and in the shop, and we hauled some of this equipment to building on my property to get it out of the way while we do some storage and moving stuff around. So I had to haul a bunch of it back in. We've sold a couple of machines here early in the season. One of our commercial customers bought a couple of these stand-on grandstands. We've got a 50-inch sold, and then there's a mower on the back that we're gonna take to the home show that's coming up. That'll be January 30th through February 1st, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think there's a couple of different time slots there, but we're gonna have several different machines down there, and one of them is on the back of the trailer here. So I'm gonna start getting all this stuff unstrapped. I've got Court here with me today. He's gonna help us get all this stuff unloaded. And we'll start putting some of this together and get ready for that home show coming up. You know, there's a million different ways that people like to store their straps. And I just roll them up. Some people will leave them on the ratchets, and I just find that that's a little harder to store them and then to put them back out, especially when we're strapping over the top of mower crates or things that we have to weave the strap through. I don't like having the ratchet in the way. So I always pull my ratchets all the way off and then just roll them with the hook on the inside so that they lay nice and flat and I can put them in the toolbox on the trailer. The ratchets, I just wrap them up on themselves and lay them separate. That's what I do for these bigger 2-inch straps like this. These smaller 1-inch or 1.5-inch wide straps for smaller equipment, I just kind of bundle them up and just keep folding them in half and just hold them together and stick them in a bag. I've got a cloth bag that they came in that I really like. I found that that's just easier than taking the time to roll them up. They stay pretty well untangled in that bag, and I can just pull them out, and it's pretty quick that way. And then the chains, you guys might have seen that in some other videos. We've got them on a chain rack up here on the trailer, and it just keeps them nice and organized, and I can always very quickly grab whatever I need and deploy them. I can get stuff chained down really quick for getting stuff loaded up and get out of there. I've got Court here, he's helping today. It's Martin Luther King Day today, so he's not in school. He likes to come in and help whenever he can, earn a little bit of money. Anyway, he's getting more and more used to how I store my straps, and he gets them rolled up nice and clean for me, and I really appreciate that. Gonna have him run the skid loader. He's quite experienced and definitely has the skill to do that, so we're just going to let him unload these, and then I'll show you the mower on the back. This trailer, I think I've talked about before, has hydraulic dovetail, so it's really nice. We can just use a wireless remote and drop the tail on it to unload the rear 2 mowers, and then these he'll just grab from the side. Here's a little inside shot of the toolbox on the trailer. Without holding the camera myself, it's on the tripod, so you guys can see a little bit. Like I say, I just roll those up tight, stick them in there, and then I just wrap the ratchets there it is, kind of on itself, and they lay in here off to the side. And the hook usually will fit and stay hooked onto the ratchet. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, we've got you moved back here. It's kind of cold today, so I've got gloves on, beanie. It's, I don't know, 20 something degrees. I think Riley said the wind chill was like 9. So we always end up doing these projects, it seems like, Court and I, when it's really cold. So on this strap, I've got it, I pulled it all the way out of the ratchet, which I don't normally do, just the way that it was kind of wrapped up on that machine. So I'm gonna roll this around. For those of you that aren't aware, the easiest way to re-wrap these ratchets is to make this a little bit more than 90 degrees with that horizontal line facing away from the handle, and so you can just feed your strap back through the slot over the top of the ratchet handle. You don't want it coming underneath the bottom because then it'll get all wrapped up on itself. If you pull that all the way through so that it's, get my hand out of the way, so it's coming out the top, now we can just pull that through. Again, I leave those opened all the way with the strap in it, and then I just fold them up. Court, would you grab that bag for me over there? And I just kind of bundle it up into a bundle like that, and then I'll just stick it down in that little cloth bag. Okay, so that one I just left through the ratchet. So again, just kind of fold it up, bunch it up on itself, shove it down in the bag, cinch the bag shut, and we're done. Low flying geese overhead, about to get it attacked. So I got the latch disengaged on that tail for Court when he gets this mower started, and then I'll let it the rest of the way down once he gets turned. It's just easier to do that before he turns the mower. This mower's been sitting for quite a while. I had to jump it to get it on the trailer. It's really cold out here this morning for that battery that's been in that machine for who knows how long from Toro. So we're gonna jump it again and get it fired up, and then he can get it pulled off of there. The mower that's in the middle in the crate, we're gonna have to drive up on the trailer with the forks, pick it off because it's sitting on there crossways, unlike the two in the front that are on there sideways. We can grab them from down on the ground. Go up. There you go. All right, start tilting down. There you go. Okay, are you down all the way? There you go, come on in. And start tilting up and go down. Down, 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 down. All right, go. All right, you got it, go ahead and tilt up. Look up. Not bad for, was he 14, 15 years old? He'd been coming around here most of his life, so he's gotten pretty used to operating the equipment. That's kind of a tricky pick because of the way the angle goes up, and you got to tilt the forks down. You got to constantly be moving with the angle of the ramp. Now, the ramp would have picked the Bobcat up level, and I could have done all that, but there's no need to put the extra strain on the battery and the hydraulics and all that when you can just pick it up. So we've got that one unloaded. Now we've got to get these last two that are double stacked, and then we'll be ready to put the trailer away. You gotta level out more. So come up and then tilt down. Okay, now turn my way a little bit more. There you go. You can just put them here. We got to put them together. So that's one of the hardest things about teaching newer operators. We got to keep it level while we're moving it around. We don't want, if anything, we want that load facing back towards the cab just a little bit. We don't want to dump stuff off the front. And so we got to keep working on these guys that we're training newer operators, and especially him. He's a little shorter, so he can't see quite as well out the front of that cab. But keeping those loads level and low when we're moving them around, especially top heavy loads like that. So I guess one thing we haven't really talked about is continuation of the demolition project, or kind of some of the things that are going on around here. We started cleaning out this back lot. I know it may not look like it now, but we've cleared out all those sheds. We had the carport sitting here, and then a couple of sheds in a video a few weeks back, or I'm not exactly sure how long ago that was. Riley posted of us clearing those sheds out and putting them in a dumpster, and that's making way for some future growth that we're hoping to get going soon, that we're not really releasing yet what the plans are. You'll have to stick around to find that out, but we're hoping that by clearing some space here, that'll make way for some future growth. So we've got a little bit more room here now. Some of this equipment, we run in and out of the shop, or it goes in this building back here that we're standing in front of, and kind of move it around as we need. We've got a bunch of work in here for our winter service program that we still got to get through. Still got plenty of time for that. I don't think anybody's going to be mowing anytime soon, but there are things happening. We've got lots of work to do, and we've got projects on the horizon that we're pretty excited about. Okay, I know that I've shown this before, but this trailer gearbox is just the best thing since sliced bread, especially if you have larger trailers, gooseneck trailers, drop leg jacks. It is just so incredibly fast to get this trailer unhooked from the truck. So we're starting here. I haven't done anything. I brought the drill out of the truck, but I'm just going to show you how quick it is thanks to that. So we're going to put our drop legs down. Now I know that hydraulic jacks are an option on a lot of trailers, but they're also quite expensive. I didn't order hydraulic jacks on this trailer. At first I thought I was going to regret that when my back started giving me so much trouble. Which was kind of the point of why I ordered this trailer anyway, for the dovetail. But anyway, I found the trailer gearbox, gave it a lot of thought, and decided I would give it a try. And now I don't regret not having hydraulic jacks, because it saved me about $2,000 in ordering the trailer. So I put the drill on there, run it down till the trailer starts taking weight, switch over to the heavy load function, and I've got just a cordless drill. It's a hammer drill, but I don't have it in hammer mode setting, just regular drill, high speed. There we go. And even kind of talking, that took what, I don't know, 30 seconds. I'll have Riley put the timestamp on there, how long that took. Lightning fast to get this trailer unhooked, and then hooking it back up is the same way. It's just really fast. So another cool thing that I've added to this trailer, I'll show you guys real quick, is I added the shocker hitch. So the shocker hitch is an air ride coupler that goes on pretty much any trailer. It's a gooseneck coupler, but it's got an airbag that you can adjust based on the weight of whatever it is you're hauling. And it cushions the ride of the trailer, and it keeps that chucking and bucking that sometimes you'll get out of a gooseneck trailer, especially on a lighter truck. This is a 3/4 ton truck. So when I'm hauling 10, 15,000 pounds on the trailer, it pushes this truck around a lot. Well, that airbag soaks up pretty much all of that chucking and bucking. And even when the trailer's empty, I can adjust the air pressure down in the bag to next to nothing. And it is just a night and day difference of how this trailer pulls behind this truck. And I really do recommend them. They're tricky to get used to, and it takes kind of a little bit of time to figure out. Ooh, sorry for the camera work here. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get figured out what pressure you want to set that up at. And I ended up getting a hold of them, shocker hitch, and they recommended 1 PSI per 1,000 pounds, and that has been spot on. I didn't see that anywhere in the literature, in the manual, even on their website, their frequently asked questions stuff. I didn't see that anywhere. So if you're considering getting a shocker hitch, whether it's for a bumper pull or a gooseneck, number one, it absolutely helps and makes a big difference. Number two, 1 PSI per 1,000 pounds is about right. We've got Raven out here running around with us. Mike came out to get something out of the shed, and I assume that Raven's going nuts because I'm out here and she can't be with me. So she's out here just meandering around. We've got Raven at work today, It's Monday. They're checking in a bunch of rental equipment. We got those mowers put together. We got several things going on. And if anything else comes up, I will be sure and let you guys know. Say hi, Raven. Oh, thanks for the kisses. Yes. Several weeks back, we demoed some old shelves in here. We picked up these Vidmar cabinets. I can't remember if we actually posted a video about that or not. Pretty sure I recorded one. But we picked up these Vidmar cabinets and started bin locating all our parts, which is another fiasco in itself that Dad's been doing all by himself. We helped him set the cabinets, but he went through and organized a ton of these parts. So this one is all like steel air filters. If I can get the camera to cooperate here. So air filters and fuel caps and carburetors and fuel lines, and it's all organized by bin location now. And so while there's still a part number there, we can just do it off of a bin location. And so the guys can look up a part, or we can look up a part at the front counter and just say, okay, A1, B2. And then we don't have to try to memorize the part number. We go A1, cabinet A, drawer 1, row A, row B, so on and so forth, B2. There's your primer bulb, for example. It's been quite handy. It's worked out really well. There's cables and gaskets and anything you can think of. We've got a pretty large selection of parts that we keep on hand. And keeping them organized has always been kind of a disaster. We used to use a bunch of these just individual parts boxes, and they would have a part number range written on them, and then we just had shelves and shelves and shelves of parts boxes, kind of an antiquated way of doing it. But we'd never really taken the time to reorganize them. And so this winter, that was one of the goals, was to reorganize a lot of this stuff. And we've still got stuff on shelves, just they won't fit, or it just didn't make sense to take up the room for, like all these wheels. They would take up so much room in those cabinets that we didn't put any of those in there. He went through and cleaned up a bunch of old gaskets. We had old Tecumseh stuff that I wouldn't even think that engines would still be running. Old Tecumseh, very old Kohler, like a Pose twin, cast iron stuff is just not very popular. There's still some fairly older stuff here, but a lot of that was put away in those cabinets, and so we've still got plenty of space there. Let's see, brought in a bunch of bar oil and fuel mix and kind of put along the backside of these cabinets where they don't really take up a whole lot of room. And then we picked up this really big cabinet, which has been nice because we were able to put like all of our, let's see, all the tire tubes just fit in there. And they're also all bin located by the coating system, kind of the same thing, E3, F1, so on and so forth. We got all our trailer parts for working on all of our trailers from our rental fleet. We've got chains and wiring and caps, and there's some hubs over here on the shelf next to us, and spare regulators, shop supply equipment, that sort of stuff. But these cabinets are very, very handy and have become one of those things that we just can't imagine living without, and how we did it for so long without having these. I don't know. It's been wonderful. Now he's going through this wall here of all these belts, and he's going through doing full inventory while he did all this stuff. It was a full, complete inventory was done on that like we do every year, but a lot different this time because we got it bin located. All the blades are located by space on this rack, these racks that we've built over the years to fit kind of our need and our space. And belts. So now that he's got inventory done, he's going through pricing structures and making sure that we're following manufacturer's guidelines on pricing. So he's been very busy. It's very helpful to have him. Working on that, I just don't have time. I mean, that's why our videos have slowed down. I just haven't really had a ton of time to do a lot of recording. We got tax preparation going on. We got upgrades that we're making around the shop. We've got the home show coming up that I'm excited about doing, but it does take some prep work for that. So I don't really have a lot of time to do the part stuff, and he's been looking at these part numbers and dealing with them for so long. He's the right guy for the job, and he does a fantastic job at it. So we're really glad to have him still around helping us. And it's also nice to still get to work with my dad. Aww. Over the years when I was younger, he and I couldn't get along that well. More my fault. It was actually all my fault. But as I've grown and things have changed over time, it's nice to have him here and be able to work with him. Not a lot of people get that opportunity, and I'm very thankful for that. But I'm going to get this video wrapped up here for now. We'll check back in a little bit later today and see what else we got going on. But thanks for tuning in.